Hi everyone and welcome to the channel. My name's Josh. In this video I'll be covering retail and online arbitrage. So I'll be covering what it is, what it means, the quick pros and cons of it, and then the actual interesting bit I'll be jumping on the computer and I'll be showing you how I go about finding products to sell online. Just really quickly before we start, this video is more intended for people who are just starting out in e-commerce because that's the people who will be focusing on arbitrage. If you already have an existing business and you're looking to branch to online sales, or if you're already established as an online seller, this video won't be as relevant to you. With that in mind, let's cue the poorly edited intro. Okay, so if you've made it this far, I'll quickly describe what arbitrage is. According to the dictionary, arbitrage is the simultaneous buying and selling of securities, currency or commodities in different markets or in derivative forms in order to take advantage of different pricing for the same asset. And there you have it, so that's what... No, I'm joking. So that sounds a lot more complicated than it actually is. Effectively, all that you need to know is that when we're doing arbitrage, we're going to be buying in one marketplace and selling on another. I would always recommend, if you're just starting out, to sell on their Amazon marketplace because it's the biggest one, and using their FBA service it's the most hands-off, so you don't have to worry about the fulfillment side of it taking up all of your free time, and you can begin to scale your business. So now that we know where we're selling, we just need to find out where we're going to buy these products for a lesser price. So the two places that most people recommend, and they're kind of one and the same, is retail and online arbitrage. So with retail, you're going into brick and mortar retailers, so one on your high street, go around to the sale aisles and then look for stuff that are on offer or cheaper than what they're being sold for currently online. Then we're going to buy them and sell them on Amazon. Alternatively, the probably easier way to do it is to do it via online arbitrage. That's one that I'll be showing today because we are still in the pandemic, so slightly controversial to go into stores and just start picking up random goods. So with online arbitrage, all you're doing is you go into the retailer's websites and you'll have a look on there and you'll find products which again are on sale or on a decent offer, and where there's the price disparity between what they sold for there and the higher price on Amazon, we'll buy them and sell them for profit. Effectively, you can think that rather than a traditional business, which is similar to how I run, so a traditional business will buy from a manufacturer or a distributor and then sell them online, you're going to buy from retailers instead. They're going to be your supplier, and then you're going to sell online. So really briefly, what are the positives? So the positives of arbitrage are that you're not tied into a category. Because you've got a new business, you want to be fully flexible and be able to jump between makeup, toys and games, skincare, stuff like that. You might want to sell automotive, computers, whatever you want. You can literally pick up anything from a book and a pencil all the way through to a cooking pan, stuff like that, and you can sell any of that online. Because you're not tied in with certain suppliers, and because you can be quite varied, it means that you can be a lot more flexible to move to Amazon's market. Another positive, and the main reason why most people start with arbitrage, is that it lets you get a very wide range of products so that you can quickly find the lines which you're going to then focus on. So I always recommend arbitrage for people starting out because it helps build the foundation for your business. Now if you're just starting out, similar to how we were back in the day, you will probably not have a massive capital investment to be able to put up front. Generally when you're trading with distributors or manufacturers depending on the marketplace, you'll find that you'll be putting in either several £1,000 orders or at least £300-400 as a minimum order just to get something shipped to you. So rather than having to put in all of that capital in lines that you're not sure of, you can buy one or two items just to get a little feel for them and you don't end up with a load of dead stock. Okay, so now I'll briefly cover what's the yin to the yang of that. So these are the negatives of arbitrage, and there are a few, so it's always worth bearing these in mind. The first and foremost, the biggest negative, is that you don't control your supply chain. So as soon as the retailer or the online store that you buy it from runs out, you've run out as well. That means that if you find a line that's very popular, you can't generally buy it in bulk. So it does hinder your ability to scale your business up. The next issue with arbitrage is that you don't have all of the paperwork that you would if you bought direct from manufacturers. So if you have a product that has an issue, although you've got your buyer's rights because you bought them from a retailer, you'll find that if you need like the data sheets or there's a recall or something like that, you're a little bit more exposed as opposed to when you buy direct from them instead. All of this is worth bearing in mind, which is again one of the reasons why I wouldn't recommend it for people who are established online, but it's a great place to have your foundation built and to begin to find the lines which you're going to specialise in. Okay, so I'm hoping some of you are still with me. If you are, we'll jump straight into the computer. I'll show you a couple of different retailers that I'd recommend, and I'll show you all of the tools that I use and the thought process that I go through to find products to be able to sell. And just like that, through the magic of video editing, you're now with me on my computer screen. So first off, I thought I'd check out Smith's Toys. They're one of the bigger toy retailers here in the UK. Generally, when you're looking for things to sell via arbitrage, you want to be looking at things that are on sale. That's usually where you can find the biggest price disparity, because there isn't a continuous supply for people to jump on. So I thought I'd check out video game offers to begin with. And the best way to check the product is actually to get your phone. So there you can see the Amazon Seller app, that's my app. And I'm just typing in the name of the product, which I'm trying to see if there's money to be made in it. And as you can see, it's just there at the top one for the Nintendo Switch. So we'll click on that. And I can see that pricing wise, it's probably going to be a little bit tight, but I'll just show you it anyway. So lowest price is $29.99 with $34.99 for what Amazon are selling it for. But because this is already $29.99 on the website, you will end up selling this for a loss. So that wouldn't be an example of a good product, but it was the first one that I started with. So next I tried out the Tilted Beach headphones. Obviously they're a very popular brand and they look relatively cheap there on Smith's Toys. So having a quick search of the title didn't bring up the ones that I was looking for. So instead I used the alternative tool, which is the camera, which will scan the product, and if the product picture is the same, it'll bring it up, and there you can see it at the top. So if you look here, this has a sales rank of 32, so it's incredibly popular in video games. It's got over 35,000 reviews. However, unfortunately, the market is fully saturated with other sellers, including Amazon. So again, this isn't a product which I'd recommend you look to purchase. But just to show you, obviously, you'd be making 59 pence, but you'd likely get pushed out of the market as prices went down. As a general rule of thumb, I always try to aim for at least 10% after you've taken all of your fees off. However, obviously, if you're buying a lower quantity, which you will be if you're doing arbitrage, it's always best to find the products with the highest margins possible, because you won't be able to have the repeat business with the lines. So I got a little bit sick of the video games. It looked like the market was pretty up to date. So instead I switched over and I just clicked on Jurassic World. The thing that caught my eye here was that I can see that it says only at Smith's. That's obviously a very good sign for you, because it means that other retailers won't carry it, so everyone will be buying through Smith's to sell online. So I had a quick search for this product, and you can see it there at the top, and it's ranked 10,171, which is a very good rank, and the price wise it is currently trading for £56.88. So when we tap in the purchase price, you would make £14.81 profit on this if you were to buy it today from Smith's and sell it on Amazon. Just to give you an idea of perspective as well, I've gone onto Jungle Scout, who have a free Amazon sales estimator. I'll pop in the details for this product. So it's toys and games in the UK marketplace, and it's ranked 10,171. So when we pop that into the little search bar, and that's the estimated sales. So you'd be looking at selling around 360 of these each month. Okay, so the next place which caught my eye was Superdrug. Superdrug, if you don't know, are one of the bigger UK retailers. They specialise more in your skincare and makeup brands, and also obviously do all of the accessories and personal hygiene goods as well. So it's not somewhere that I'm particularly familiar with myself. I have been dragged around it several times, but it's not somewhere that I would generally choose to shop. However, as they're a big UK retailer, I thought that they would probably have quite a good sale on and be able to find some quick wins for you. Unfortunately, that wasn't the case, and it took me quite a while to find them, but I'll talk you through exactly why I discarded some of the products and then bring you back when we found them. So the first thing that caught my eye was this I Heart Revolution makeup kit. It's obviously got the branding for Now Music, so I thought it was something that potentially would be quite popular. However, as you can see, it's 490,000 ranked, so it's not something that generally is popular. I gave the product a quick scan as well, just because sometimes the ASIN can be listed incorrectly, or it may be a duplicate and people are actually selling on another ASIN. It's always worth, if the product looks unusually high ranked, to give it a quick scan on the front just to make sure that it isn't duplicated anywhere. As you can see, it's still 490,000 ranked, so it's something that I decided that potentially just isn't a very popular product. Scrolling down, I then went for the other Revolution branded item.
but as you can see, it's 333,000 ranked. So again, although it's a popular product for Superdrug, it's not something that translates very well over to Amazon. So it was quite frustrating trying to find a product through Superdrug. I did flick between almost all of the categories that they've got, which I thought would be quite easy to get a win for, but all of them unfortunately are either too expensive on Superdrug or just not well ranked enough on Amazon for it to be worthwhile. I did eventually find a product, and it was in a slightly more unusual and obscure niche for Superdrug, which was in their baby line. And here you are. So if you can notice, the very first product that comes up is the baby's nappies. They're size 0 carry packs, and if you look on Amazon, they've been bundled in packs of 2 to be sold as a pack of 48. They're 1,200 ranked, which is very good in health and personal care. So immediately I knew that the demand would be there for the product. So I will just put in the purchase price as well. As it's going in a bundle of 2, I've doubled the price online just to give you an accurate representation. So it's £2.03 profit when you've taken into the fact that 2 of these will cost you £5.98 to purchase. So that is a good margin of above 10% that you can make on this product, which is very popular ranked. And just to show you how popular that translates to with regards to your sales, I've gone back over to the sales estimator. I'll change the ranking, and I'll also change the product category to match. So you can expect to sell 1,710 of these bundles each month. So next up was B&Q. B&Q are one of the bigger DIY retailers in the UK. I have a good success with using B&Q and the other hardware stores before, because they generally have power tools, and the power tools that they have are replaced each year by the manufacturer because they bring out a new model, so they generally put them on sale just to clear up the shelf space. This is something that, if you're looking at arbitrage, you can take advantage of. Unfortunately, while looking at B&Q today, they didn't have any products that were either cheap enough or well ranked enough to be able to sell on Amazon. I would recommend coming back to here periodically throughout the year to check. However, you will find that after Christmas period, things like that it is a little light pickings. So eventually I did manage to find a product in the clearance range, and I went for the Unibond Aero 360 Moisture Trap Refills. So with these products, I'm just going to make sure that it matches the fragrance. And as you can see, when we scroll down, it's the lavender one that we're going to sell. So it's 1,760 ranked. And for the twin pack, which is the top one, there isn't any other prime sellers. So although there's one that's used like new, that's just a damaged product, there isn't anyone selling it directly as an Amazon Prime seller. So you'll be able to charge a little bit more than the current value of $9.49. So a rough estimation for this, I would change that price to around $12.50, because you'll still be able to get a lot of the traffic coming through and you'd win the buy box. So that gives us £8.01 to play with, which after our $6.34 purchase price leaves us £1.67 profit. This £1.67 is above the 10% minimum that I always recommend, so this is a product which would be popular. Now, one thing to note with this is that if you look at the product category, it's actually listed under home improvement. That isn't something that will show up under the Jungle Scout website, purely because it's a subcategory within home and kitchen. As such, you won't be able to get an exact amount of sales that you can expect, but a good way to check it is just to look at the amount of reviews and ratings it's got. This product had over 3,000 reviews, so you can be pretty assured that it will be a popular item. I'll just show you the fact that it doesn't show up on the Jungle Scout website. If you look, there isn't a category for home improvement, there's just home and kitchen. And last but not least, we have Costco. Costco is somewhere that I'm a member of, and I'd recommend any of you who are just starting out in e-commerce to join them, because although not all the products will be able to have a good enough margin for you, you will be able to find that some of them have a great margin and you're able to buy in a large quantity, because they're more geared towards selling directly to retailers who then sell on to end customers, with them being a wholesale store. So at first I looked at the computers and laptops, however unfortunately the exact models weren't available on Amazon. This is something that you will come across, because you'll end up finding that the CPU might be slightly different, or the product code, or alternative the GPU, the amount of RAM that the laptop's got, etc. So if that's an avenue that you're looking to go down and specialise into in the future, just make sure that you thoroughly check the products beforehand. Instead, I decided to change tact and just went on for whatever their hot buys are. Those are generally stuff that they've slightly overstocked on, so they've got them on a good discount for you. So with this, you can see that there is a pressure washer in the top left. It's the first one that came up for me, and it's currently trading at $99.99. So it's a relatively good price for the product it is. So I opened up my app and gave it a quick scan, and as you can see, it's 16,000 ranked in home improvement, which again, you can be guaranteed is a very popular product. And then just to reassure you with that, you can see that Amazon themselves are stocking this. So yet again, you can tell that the volume is there because Amazon have got all that data and decided to take it on themselves. Now, as you can see, when you put in the $99.99 purchase price, you're left with £21.77 profit.
Okay, so I hope you found that helpful. We found quite a few good lines today. It's quite easy to find them online. You can find them pretty much every time you go on if you put enough time and effort into it. What I will do is every week or month I will go back on, I'll do a similar video like this, and I'll just show you the new products which I'd recommend. Now, just a small word of warning, the one thing that I would always recommend with arbitrage is that until you're certain that the marketplace is stable and that the prices aren't going to come collapsing back down, make sure that you buy to a lower quantity. So it might be 1 or 2 for your first time, then maybe up to 10s, 15 units, stuff like that. This is just so that you don't get caught out when, if the prices drop and all your capital is invested in dead stock, which you're going to lose money on. This is why we always recommend to start to work your way up the supply chain. In another video, I'll be describing exactly how you do that. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe down below. If you've got any questions, leave them in the comments and I'll be happy to answer them. And moving forward, you'll be able to find future videos on how to build your e-commerce business as well.